everyone, and welcome to the Front Porch Knitter podcast. My name is Lucy Ann, and I am the Front Porch Knitter. And this is my little part of the internet where we talk about my knitting and other crafts I'm doing, and where I've been, what I've been up to, who I've seen, all the fun stuff. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'm happy to have you come for the shenanigans. This is as close as I can come lots of days to having someone to talk to. Even though I'm just talking to the screen, I really do feel like you're all out there listening. So thanks. Just quickly what I'm wearing today. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get you a good picture of it. Here, this is my Lulu slipover by Petite Knits. That's not a very good picture of it, but maybe I'll post one on Instagram or something so you can see it. I did it in Knit Picks Wool of the Andes as per pattern, except that I just did a rolled collar. I think the pattern has either a mock neck or folded, but I just did a little rolled because I thought that would be better for the types of things I want to wear it over. And yeah, the beautiful buttons. I've linked this company before when I showed the buttons. I got these at Knit City, Toronto, and it's the wood turning company, I think. I'll link them below. They have gorgeous buttons. I don't anticipate having to wash this very often, so having wooden buttons on it isn't a big deal, but it is lovely this time of year. However, today, which is November the 5th, it is 18 degrees outside, and except for the fact that it is very windy, I for sure would have been out on my porch filming this, but I couldn't get the sound to work. So here we are in my not so tidy knitting room. You're in the tidiest corner, like everything out there is just a tip. That's life, right? The bed is clean, so if someone wants to come and stay over, there's room for them, but every flat surface has stuff on it. I need to spend a bit of time in here getting things organized. And it's not going to happen anytime soon because I just booked another trip to New Brunswick. I'm flying this time. We'll talk about that more later. Okay, let's get started with the nitty goodness. We'll start with finished objects. And because I'm not very good at recording often, I always have a lot. Also let you know that you are sitting on my small tripod on a lid from a Rubbermaid tote that is on top of a garbage can. So if you move, it's not an earthquake. I've hit it. Let's start with the things that I finished. So the one everyone is excited about, I think, is the sweater for my grandson. I'm pretty excited to give it to him. I'm not going to make him wait. I'm hoping to see him this weekend and be able to give it to him this weekend. But it turned out really well, and I'm hoping it'll fit him for a few years. Just because it's a lot of work and I don't want him to grow out of it too quick. And that's the trouble with, 13, 14-year-old kids is they grow, and they grow sort of quickly. And yeah, but this was, I've talked about it in other episodes. It's a combination of a couple of patterns, and I will link them below. The yarn is Bernat Fabwoolous. Oh, that's not it. I have all kinds of things in here. Let's see if I can find a label. This looks like one. It is 80% acrylic, 20% superwash wool, which isn't as much wool as I would necessarily like, but he is a teenage boy, and it's going to have to get washed a lot more often than the ones my boys have, which had a higher wool content, but still had acrylic because they're kids doing their own laundry. They're not kids, right? They're 27 and 30, but they were kids when I made them. So that's that. I'm glad it's done because, you know, that was last year's Christmas wool, which is now a sweater. So hopefully I'll actually give him something that's complete, not a box of wool this year for Christmas. Who knows? Let's see what else I have finished. So this, you didn't even see, this was still yarn the last time we talked. This is my Stockholm. I knit it while I was in New Brunswick the last time to wear to PEI. It hasn't actually even been blocked, but it's been worn a lot. Next time, when I wash it, the next time I'll block it. It is the Stockholm Slipover by Petite knit in Yarn Indulgence. A squash color. I can't remember what it was. A Marled squash color. And her Surrey in, I think the colorway was Coral. It's so soft. It's so great to wear. And like this, perfect for these fall days when it's not, like when I go out the door, if I have this on, I just grab a jean jacket and throw it in the back seat. And I haven't had to wear it yet. I really like the way she does this detail on the back of the shoulder. And I don't know if I made any modifications to this. I do, I think I knit it to pattern. Don't actually know what size I knit. Doesn't really matter. You would need to knit the size that's right for your body anyway. Usually I knit the 4 or the 5. But I do really like this. And I love the way it turned out. And it looks so great, like with a black turtleneck or even a black t-shirt or a white blouse. I just love it. And such great fall colors. It's so soft. So very soft. I'm excited about that too. This you saw, I was working on this. This is coriander yarn. And I just sort of made it up, but it's a plant pooling yarn. And what I did is everywhere there was a pool, the red and the oranges, so the warm colors, I made a bauble. And it made this great, once again, great little, scarf for under a jean jacket and I did the type, I'll show you how the construction so you'll understand how I did it. But it's great, it's warm, and she does this colorway often, but it doesn't have I don't think it has a name. I've seen her have it at other shows. I picked this one up at Fiber Forge in the spring, I think, in Hamilton. How I knit it, so you get an idea, is I started here at this end with 3 stitches and just increased every other row on this side. And so you can just keep going until you have just enough to cast off. And that way you get it as big as you can. And it's fairly even balanced. Like it's pretty much, came out pretty much half a square. Pretty close. So I did block this because it was a bit bunchy before because it's garter. And blocking it just made it a little bit bigger. But it's fun. Like it was fun to knit and it's fun to wear. And it has no right side or wrong side really, because whichever side I was on, if I came to the yarn, the warm colors of the yarn, that's the side I bobbled on. So it has bobbles on both sides. And yeah, fun. I've worn it quite a bit too already this fall. Again, like just with my jean jacket on the cooler days, which was great. And last time I talked, I'd made my daughter-in-law the penny gloves because she was on the beer cart. And the penny gloves take about half a skein. So I took the other half of the skein and the rest of the mohair and made her an East Coast cowl. I love this cowl pattern. I have two of them here. I like the way, because it's split in the back, the way it lays across your shoulders. And then with the changes, there's no purling in this. The whole cowl is done with knit stitches. So you knit flat, and so there's a section of garter, and then you join in the round, and there's a section of stockinette, and then you knit flat, and you join, and you have a section of garter again. So it gives you that texture. It has a center spine, and just a nice fit. And again, perfect for inside a jacket, and this is so soft. She's waiting for it, so she'll get it today, but I really like it. And I love this color, and it's so good for her, like this is really her color, which is great. But just this little split makes it lay nice over your shoulders. This is a great pattern. This pattern is by Deborah Yarn Indulgence, and the green is the fingering was from Yarn Indulgence. It was a fingering. I think the color was Evergreen, and the mohair was Knit Picks. But really, from a single skein of mohair and a single skein of fingering, and I think I probably, do I have a little bit left? Let's have a, I don't know if it's in this bag. No, not sure which bag it was in. I have just a teeny bit of it left from doing penny gloves and the cowl. And there might be enough to do a headband. I'm not sure, but I'll have to have a look. But I do really love this. So that is the East Coast cowl. And then I did another East Coast cowl, and this is a surprising option. This one is done in Paton's Kroy FX. And I will link what the yarn is called, but it's Celestial Tones or something like that. And in the penny gloves, you can see the one color, oh, it went this way. No. This way. Is a fade. And this is, so this girl has small hands, so I did adjust it a little bit. I knit these for a young woman I know in the community who she's a bus monitor on a bus with special needs children, and she has to undo seatbelts and stuff a lot. These are a little tight on me, but they're going to fit her well. And this will keep her nice and warm. And because it's the Paton's Kroy, I won't have to worry about special washing instructions or anything. And this is a very petite knit heavy episode, but these are the penny gloves by Petite Knit. And this is a quick, easy, and this can be my in your purse knitting, but I really love the way the fade looked. So the penny gloves took about maybe 3/4 of one ball. If I was doing them for myself, I did these on a 2.25. If I was doing them for myself, I'd do them on a 2.75 or a 3, just to make them a little bit bigger. Because if you can have them slightly larger, if they contain more air, that keeps your hands warmer, but her hands are quite small. And so I did those. And then I held another ball and one ball of a solid like violet color with the fade yarn to get to a DK weight, and did the cowl so it has the same colors. The fade's not as obvious as it is in the gloves because I've marled it with a similar color. But again, this is an East Coast cowl. This was a pretty inexpensive gift project, so three balls of Paton's Kroy. So in the neighborhood of $25–30, which is pretty inexpensive for a nice gift set. And because it's Paton's Kroy, machine washable, all the things. But I really like the way they turned out. And I love that this is a fade. I didn't know they had until I went looking for it. She likes purple. So I went looking for some, because I didn't want to do it just in the plain, because that's kind of boring. These are already pretty plain. These are already pretty plain gloves, so you need something to spruce them up a bit. So I was pretty happy to find that. And I hope she likes it, because, you know. Then, I'm not sure if I had these sock tubes done or was working on them. These might have been whips. This is, I can't remember. It's a German yarn, just a commercial sock yarn. Socks for my son. He loves green as well. And he has very large feet. So there are always a lot of knitting, but I really like this one. I picked this up at Little Red Mitten from the sale table probably, but I really like the colors and the way they knit up. And I do, so to make them easier for just carrying, like for doctor's appointments and stuff and waiting rooms and car knitting, I do just a long tube and put the heel in, and his tube with the toe is about 18 inches. And then I add the heel to make it so, and that makes it so they pretty much fold in half when you hold them by the heel. And I just do an afterthought heel with 7 rounds straight at the beginning, and then the decreases the same as I do for my toe. There's all kinds of people who have tutorials about how to do that on the internet, but I got those done. Those will go away till Christmas, because he has lots of socks, but he always needs more. And then I took these ones with me to New Brunswick the last time, just for my round and round knitting. These are for me. This, I don't know what, the random mini from my stash. And I think this was, it's timber yarns, and I think it might have been Ghouls Just Want to Have Fun, but I'm not sure. It's a Halloween yarn I got last year in their Marled. It's very possible that it was a second, because I often buy their seconds because I can't figure out what's wrong with them. It's just a fun self-striping. And these come as 2 matching 50-gram skeins, so you can have matching socks. Pop these on up. Pop this on a blocker so you can see it better. I could have done that with Thomas's sock, but you can't really tell because his feet are bigger than my blockers. There they are. I really like the way these turned out. And this is the type of sock that I always want to have in my on the go, because, you know, one of two things. One, I can just knit the tube and I can decide later who it's going to be for, but I need this kind of knitting for in the car. And I used pretty much all of this skein up. You can see, because if I, you know, I might have made the leg a bit shorter otherwise, but I really like the colors. And I really like timber yarns. I think I probably have some in my recent purchases, as well as I might have more coming in the mail this week. I need to stop buying yarn. Although I knit a lot, right? I have a lot of knitting that goes out of my, like off my needles, so I don't feel so bad about buying more yarn. If we had another pandemic, I would be safe. The next thing I knit, and I don't have mitten blockers, but these beautiful Lift Me Up mittens. Look at that pattern. by Manon Rayon. No, Manon Drolet. La Violette Knits. And you can see it makes like a diamond pattern, and it's just it's a really interesting stitch construction. I think it was called the daisy stitch, if I remember correctly. And Manon's pattern was very clear, and it has this really nice twisted stitch cuff that fits really well. And I had to make the larger size, but I have very big hands. And the yarn is Leo and Roxy Password. And the second color, they were in this bag, which is technically an acquisition. I love these from Pine and Pearl, Pearl and Pine. Surely not everyone was kung fu fighting. I bet some were knitting. Oh, I don't have the tag for the orange in here, but this is what it looked like. I got this at KW, and this is the, I'm sure this is Password. Yep. These were a set, and I still have another 25 grams of the Mohair, so I can do something with this. I could do a cowl, although I don't know that I would do a cowl in this color. That's a pretty crazy color. And my jacket's navy blue though, so that would be fine. And it is kind of a fun color. But they were fun to knit. Go check those out. Manon has a couple of mitten patterns that are both really nice, similar constructions and types of stitches. Her coastal drift mittens have a single panel up the middle, and these ones make this diamond shape. And it was a pretty intuitive pattern. Once I got going on it, I was very happy with, like, I found my rhythm with it, and I could read it easily and read the knitting easily, so I didn't have to keep referring to the pattern. But I really like them, and they're, again, so soft. I'm excited for these with my navy blue coat this winter. I think they'll be fun. You won't miss me. If you see them out in the wild, I'm attached to them. So that is all of the finished objects. Works in progress. Oh my goodness. I do this thing where I get sort of everything finished, and then oops, you're charging at the same time. So that's what this cord is going through here. I do this thing where I finish everything, and then I just cast on a whole bunch of stuff again. And that is what happened. So let's have a look at what's going on here. The whip that I cast on, actually, you know what? I say that, I don't actually have that many, but I feel like I cast on a lot of things. So I was working on this last time as well. I think this is the Deluxe shawl scarf. I can't remember which one it is I'm doing. It has multiple sizes on the pattern. And this is in Yarn Indulgence's Deluxe. So it's a cashmere deluxe, something like that. Luxury, Indulgent Luxury. It is baby alpaca, silk, and cashmere, 70-20-10. And it is just this natural color. And this is a great little pattern to show it off because it's very soft, but you don't want to do too much with it. It's quite drapey. I haven't worked on this for a few weeks, but I could pull it back out and get it finished so I could wear it or give it to somebody. And this is a great pattern. I first saw it when Noelle, Knit Check, Cafe Noelle, was working on it, and I really like the way hers looked. I am doing it on a 3.75 needle, which might be a little bigger than it called for. Can't remember. And this also has no no purl stitches, I don't think. It's garter and slip stitches. I don't know why. I don't mind purling. It doesn't bother me. I just, you know, sometimes it's nice to do patterns that don't have any. So I'm working on that. No particular deadline. A little more than office knitting, and it is in my Ginger Snap That pouch, which I really like. If you open it all the way up, it's like a little, it opens up like a little basket. I got this at Knit City. I love the colors. I love the shape. It's still squishy enough to shove other places in bags and things. So that's that project. In this bag, which is a Van Dyke Designs from Caroline Van Dyke, which I got at KW. So it would be an acquisition. You guys haven't seen it yet because that was, and this is knit in Vintage DK in this lovely coral color. And I have started this sleeves on, I've talked about these cable knit sweaters I'm doing for my aunt. Yesterday it was about this much longer and I ripped it back because I wasn't happy. For her, I'm doing these for my aunt, for her granddaughters. I'm doing 2 of them. And it is a, I'm pretty sure it's a Lang pattern. I'll link it below. It's just a number, but it is very cute. And it is available on Ravelry. But this is for sure not, this, I have to concentrate a lot on this. The chart's very good. The instructions are clear. It is a pattern where you need to have a little bit of an idea of what you're doing. It is only a chart. There is no written instructions for it. But it's going to be cute. The cables make like little hearts up the sleeves and then down each side of the front, and it will be lovely. So I'm doing that 2 at a time. And I like the Vintage DK as a slightly higher wool content. Let's see, what is it? It's 40% wool, 52% acrylic, 40% wool, 8% nylon, but a great sweater for people who aren't used to laying things flat, and especially for kids because they do have to be washed more often. I only wash my sweaters, most of them, once a season to put them away, and they come out clean and I wear them. But I do really like this bag too from Caroline. I really like this shape and style. You should check Caroline out. I'll link her below. This is really cool what she does. So this is technically an acquisition, but I'm going to talk about it now and not later. These fabrics are reclaimed fabrics from design houses, so interior design houses. So these would be the samples that they take out every season and show people like the options for fabrics for sofas or drapery or other home design things. And the lining is a upholstery fabric as well. And at the end of the season, of course, there's a new line of fabric, and these fabrics would probably just go in the, like, just be thrown out. But Caroline takes them and pieces them together or cuts them, because they're not very big pieces, to make a variety of bags, and they're gorgeous. the thing is, if you see a fabric you really like, you should buy it, because she can't order more and there may only be one bag in that fabric. And I saw this one at KW and I walked by 2 or 3 times and I finally said, okay, I'm just buying it. And I really like it. It's very sturdy, stands up, has a big square base. Nice basket to work out of. Perfect for taking places, because you can put other things in there with the project. It's a very nice bag. And I will link Van Dyke Designs below. She's an Ontario maker, and she's at most of the Ontario shows. I think she's going to be at Fiber Forge. I'm not positive. It's next weekend in Hamilton. Next is my Big Blue Mama bag, which I also bought at KW. This basket, this is my second Big Blue Mama basket, and I really like them. This is not a very big one. It's quite small, but I have 2 sock projects in here right now. One is, oops, this pair of socks. One tube is finished and the heel is marked with a, where the heel's going is marked with a marker. My cousin asked me if I would knit him a pair of socks. He offered to pay me. I laughed. This is my cousin, and I think I showed this on here. When we were younger, he's older than I am, like by 11 years or so. But he lived with my parent. He lived at my parents' house when he was a teenager, older teenager, and he's very handy, makes all kinds of great things. And when my kids were little, when Alexa was born, he'd made us this little duck. And of course, in our house fire, it was one of the things that was ruined. And so earlier this year, he gave me a new one. And the little duck, when you pull it on the floor, it swings and it makes a clack, clack, clack sound. Incredibly irritating, but still incredibly cute. And I am so thankful that he made it for me. And I will hang on to it here and for little children who come to visit. But it is so cute. He does a beautiful job. And so he gave me this. I was not going to charge him for a pair of socks, especially when he just wants, you know, the most basics kind of socks like this that I'm going to pop a heel into. I messed around with it a bit though, because he has really narrow feet. So I did do a 64 and I went down a needle size because I would think his feet are probably narrower than mine. The first tube is done and I just started the second one last night. Just finished the cuff. And I don't even know where I got this, but it is a From the Vault Sock Ease by Lion Brand. And the colorway is Dark and Stormy. But it was in my commercial sock collection. It is a 75-25 superwash. And I have lots of these solid color Kroy. I just used a black, is this black? Cowl, it's called, for the, you can't really see it, but because it started into navy right away, but the pop at the top and the heel will be this, because this wears really well as well. So that's my current office travel knitting socks I'm working on. And the other pair of socks that are in here, this is Lily and Pine. And this is again me messing around with a pattern texture, just trying things out. Just where the heel's gonna go. It'll do an afterthought heel on these as well. And I'm gonna use Kroy for the heel. And this one is Gentry Gray. So it's like a heathered gray. You may have seen this yarn before because this yarn was another pair of socks that they had a different type of heel, which was an interesting construction, but just didn't fit. And I just took them apart, just frogged them and started these. I really like these colors. I don't know what the colorway is. Let me see. I don't imagine because they were a completed pair of socks, I'm sure I don't have the tag in here. No. I do have other tags in here for all kinds of things, so it's very interesting what I have tags for. Yeah. No. No tag. What's this? Oh, this is the tag for the green socks. It's just commercial yarn. I think I got it at Little Red Mitten, but I'm not sure. But I don't know. I really like the way this looks. I'm going to see how it looks when I'm done, how it fits to decide. I might write it up. It's just a texture. So that's my, if I needed to think a little tiny bit more, sock that's in my Big Blue Mama basket. I would love to have a bigger Big Blue Mama basket, but one, I don't really have a place to put it because I have some beautiful antique baskets that you guys have never seen, but I have an antique apple basket downstairs that I pop all my projects into that I lined with fabric to make it more, so it doesn't snag the yarn and things because it's an old basket. And it was used, like it was used as an apple basket. And I also have a big harvest basket that was made in a native community in New Brunswick that I bought, I don't know, 30 years ago. And I use it for my gardening stuff, but I actually decided this year I'm going to clean it up. It needs a couple of repairs, which I should be able to do. I have some strip dash here that I should be able to fix it. And because I don't want it to get ruined, because it is a beautiful basket. But this is also very pretty. And I'm very excited to own it. So that is a work in progress. And I think that's all I've worked on. I do have another pair of socks that are almost finished that I haven't worked on since I talked to you last. And I have my twist and turns, which I just have the last clue to do, I think. So hopefully I will get that done soon. So that brings us to the, oh no, I have another work in progress. This isn't very well set up, popped in here. I have some spinning. So this is what it looks like on my nano eel wheel. And this is what the fiber looks like. I have a little bit more to do. And this is the first full bobbin. This fiber was from Firefly. Let me find her tag. I know I put it in here. Maybe I didn't. I'm a failure. Pam at the Little Red Mitten. And I think it's Firefly Haven Fire. I'll link it down below. But I bought this fiber from her at her trunk show at Little Red Mitten a few weeks, well, months ago now. And so I have that bobbin done. And I have the other one. I just have this to spin up. And then I also have finished. This was Malabrigo Noob, and it is 100% merino, I think, and the colorway is Archangel, and I have 2 bobbins of it. I just need to ply them. I think they're going to be pretty when they're plied together. I still am not really great with my tension, but it's not terrible, so, you know, the yarn is usable when it's plied, and I will use it for something. I don't want it to be so precious that I save it. I enjoy spinning. It's very relaxing. And I just cleaned up my house because I had company last week, and I just moved. So everything came up here. This does normally all live in this little basket, but usually it's tucked in here a little neater than it is right now. But this is the perfect little basket to hold that project, because then I can take it wherever I am and everything's contained. And the really nice thing about the Nano is it runs off a power pack. And that's its power source, which probably needs to be charged, and you can run it off like the electrics from your house, like you can plug it in, but it's nice that you don't have to, because then one, you don't have to deal with the cord, and two, I can take it outside easily, which is very relaxing as well. And it's not loud, it's fairly quiet, and because it's so compact, it's not like a project to take it outside every time I want to work with it outside. So that's nice. So I do have one thing packed up for some dream knitting that I've had for a while, but this is also Malabrigo. The Mecca, the colorway is Wales Road. And I have both skeins in here, 2 skeins, and I am going to do the Oppose cowl. It's a sample. Little Red Mitten had a sample of it, and I bought the yarn by Laura Ayler, Fogbound Knits. So that's one of my soon-to-be cast-ons. I also think I need to cast on a garment that's not as mind-requiring as the cable sweater that I'm doing, because I should be making better progress on it, but because my mind has to be in a certain place to work on it, I find myself not working on it very often. And I would have liked to have had at least one of them done by Christmas. They just seem to take a lot of time. More time than I thought they would. The first one went fairly quickly once I got knitting on it. And I have to do for 2 of the girls and 1 of the boys. The boys one will also go faster. I'm doing the Savin. I should be able to tell you who it's by, but everybody's knit that one. But it's knit in a it's in worsted weight, and this is DK. And it just should be going faster, but every line, like I haven't gotten in, there's no rhythm to it. Like there's no, even though I have a good row counting system and all those other things, there's just, it hasn't gotten to the point where I don't have to look at it all the time. And I don't know if it will, because you're doing so many, like as on the sleeves especially, you're increasing while you're repeating the pattern, but the increases are just in moss stitch. Like it might just be where my brain is right now, that it's not falling into that intuitive knit reading. And when I ripped it out, it probably took me half an hour to figure out where I was, where I'd ripped, because there was no lifeline. Don't kid yourself. I just pulled the needles out and frogged, and then put the needles back in once I got past the part I wasn't happy with. Yeah, and normally that's not an issue for me because I can read my knitting really well, but this is just, it's just a little bit harder. I don't know. It's not hard. It's just, it's something about my brain, not the pattern and not the yarn, and not, it's my brain, but that's where it's at. So that's what I've got ready to cast on at the moment. I haven't wound anything else up. I've got some ideas of what I want to do. If there's anything you think I should do, throw that out there for me. I'd love to hear your ideas. Of course, I have a queue as long as from here to kingdom come of things I want to do. I think I'm going to wind up and take with me my pressed flowers. I've had that yarn for over a year, almost 2 years maybe. No, just a year. But I really want to knit it because I really want to wear it. And my friend Sophie started hers and I love it. So now I want to get mine started so I can work on it. And yeah, it's done. I have the yarn I have for it is Lichen and Lace. And then the contrast for the flowers is a Noro yarn. So I'm looking forward to that. And I think the mosaic will just be entertaining and stimulating enough that it's intuitive, but not stockinette. And it might give my brain the workout it needs to be able to do the cables more quickly. So we'll see. Yeah, that's what I'm going to cast on next. So I went to three fiber festivals since I spoke to you last. I went to KW, the Kitchener-Waterloo, I think it's Knitters Guild, in the end of September, middle of September. And then I went to the PEI Fiber Festival, which was a hoot, and I have a vlog of that. The video prior to this one is a vlog of that trip and some clips and all the shenanigans we got up to. So go check that out if you want to learn more about it, but I'll show you what I got while I was there. And then I also had Woolstock the weekend after Thanksgiving, which was great fun as well. And I got some, well, that's a whole story you'll hear when we get there. But so at KW, I did buy the basket and the bag from Caroline. Those were the two big things I bought. But I also got a couple of skeins of yarn. I had quite a chat with the lady at Koigu, and I love their yarn, but it's yarn that I have to have a plan for, but I have zero plan for this. It's 100% crossbred Merino Lincoln breed specific, 200 yards per 100 grams, I think it is. Doesn't say how many grams it is, but I think it's 100 grams. I just love it. I love the color. I love it's a single ply. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. It would make a beautiful cowl. It would make a gorgeous hat. It would make beautiful mittens. It spoke to me, and I came back to it a few times. And while I was standing there talking to her, I couldn't stop touching it. It's very soft. We discussed, and it's the owner, and I can't remember her name, and I should know it, but I can't remember. Lovely woman. We discussed how trends in knitting have changed. And it used to be people went to festivals and bought single skeins, and people are moving more towards buying sweater quantities. And if you don't have sweater quantities in your booth, it's harder for people to shop. Not that they don't love your yarn, but they need 4 or 5 skeins of something or whatever they're making. And trying to decide what to bring and to know what the current trends are is tough. Like in all industries, right? Especially for indie dyers and hand dyers, to show up, like to try and decide what to dye and what to bring, because it changes every show. It just depends on who's there. And your aesthetic as a maker will match some dyers better than others. And that's why we have favorites, right? I have dyers who I love them as people and I love their work. It's beautiful, but it doesn't fit with what I'm going to wear. So it's harder for me to buy from them. And often from them, I then end up buying a single skein and making something for someone else, an accessory or something like that. My goal for all the festivals I went to this year was not to go overboard, because I really don't need any yarn, but I wanted to get some special yarns and, support my friends and support people I know and things like that. So another yarn I got, and I got 2, but I've already given Heidi one. I got the, from Val Fibers, This is called Navy Blossom, and this is another assigned pooling yarn. So like the one I got from Coriander, I got this one. And Val was one of the people who was on the cruise with us in the spring. So got a big hug and we had a chat, and she's relatively local. She lives about an hour and a half away. Her and I are planning to get together when her festival season calmed down a bit, and I'm actually in one province for a little while. But I picked up this one for me. I love that it's like a really like slate blue with the pink as the assigned pooling color. I really like that. And yeah, I have a plan already for what I'm going to do with it. So we'll see when the time comes. You'll be the first to know probably. This is her more luxurious base. It is merino cashmere nylon 70-20-10, 390 meters for 115 grams. So it's a true 4-ounce skein, and it probably leans a bit to sport over fingering. So it's a heavier fingering. This is going to be really nice. And yeah, so that's my friend Val who did that beauty. So that was kind of exciting. I have things here I don't even know what they are. What else did I get at KW? I think that's it. Oh no. And I got from Odd Cat Yarns 3 of these I-cord paws. They're very cute, very light. I've already used mine as red. This one is a present for somebody, and Heidi already has hers. And I just thought they were so cute, I-cord makers. I used mine on, oh, I don't have it here to show you, but I did a little pumpkin hat for a little man in my life. And I did the, you know, the curly top on it, the green, and I used my I-cord maker for that, and it worked really well. So I will link Odd Cat down below. Lovely ladies, we had a great chat. I see them at lots of festivals, which is always fun. And so I got that there as well, and I think that's all I bought at KW. Now the next festival I went to, so then I got some yarn in the mail. Let me show you some of that, because I don't think I've shown you that yet either. And you'll see more that goes with it in a minute. From Arcane Fiberworks, I picked up 3 skeins of I Love Fall Most of All. And I think this is going to be a Lento, which I want just to be like a cozy sweatshirty kind of pullover. And this is their, let's see if it tells me what the base is. Fingering Socke. It doesn't tell me what the composition is, but I picked up a Surrey to go with it, which I'll show you in a bit. I'm going to set this beside me so we can look at them together. And then one day, because you know, these things happen, we were driving to Costco, and there was an email. My husband was driving. I was in the passenger seat, and for whatever reason, I decided that I needed the yarn that popped up. So I got, oh, there's got to be another tag here somewhere. Yeah. So Area 51 Fibers in Saskatchewan. I think they're in Regina. I love their yarn, and I really love it because they flat pack it to ship it, which makes it even better. So like the shipping is really inexpensive, which doesn't happen in Canada very often. So I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're 50-gram skeins. I got 2 of this colorway, Stitches and Witches, which I really like. They'll make fun socks. These were also, some of them might have been in their seconds because I also will always buy seconds from them. I got 2 of, this is a Gilmore Girl colorway, Forgiveness and Stuff. I got 2 of those. There was only one of this one left, but I can make a pair of socks. I'll have to pair it with something that's coming unwound. Sweater Weather, which is, I think, what I went in to buy because I really like these colors do really say like fall vibes. Anyways, the skein's coming apart. And I got 1 of, oh, Christmas tree. Do I need more sock yarn? Absolutely not. Do I really like Area 51 sock base? I do. And I love her style, and I love, like, the colors just speak to me. Okay, so I'm looking at these 2. This is the yarn I got from Kroy, and this is the yarn I got from Area 51. I may have a template. I might have a palette. They sort of match. So I got those. That was very cool. Oh, here's another thing I got from my mind just went blank. KW Knitters Fair, because I got 2 of them. I got the Kung Fu one you saw earlier, and then I got this one. I'm just a girl standing in front of her and asking them to weave themselves. These little canvas bags are perfect. And it's Pine and Pearl, and I will link them down below. I mean, they're fun. I've gotten them for my, I bought them before. I bought some at Knit City, Toronto for my daughter-in-law, Taylor Swift themed ones, which she now stores her goodies in. The other thing that came in the mail, I love Michelle at Woolens and Nosh, absolutely to bits. I met her this spring on the cruise. She is just the sweetest, kindest, most genuine person. And I have always loved her yarn aesthetic, her dyeing aesthetic. Like, I think she does a beautiful job, and she is an amazing, talented dyer. But she's in the US, and for us to get her yarn, it is ridiculous. The shipping, like all the things, it's just ridiculous. But she's doing a collaboration with Les Garçons, and she's doing the Seasons of Socks. So this is fall, and it's actually autumn, not fall. And it's a mini and a self-striping sock set, and I ordered it because it only ships from Montreal then. So the expensive parts happen on the other end, and the duty's already included in the price, and I know what I'm going to pay for it, and the shipping's not ridiculous. So I ordered autumn. So did Heidi, and I'm pretty sure that I'm like, fingers crossed, I'm going to be able to get them all. I just love them. I also, when I get to New Brunswick, will be able to, I did order, a bunch of us went together and ordered her Advent and had it shipped to Heidi's Dropbox in Maine. So the shipping was really less expensive. We did have to pay duty on it, but that's, you know, just part of the process. So I do have Michelle's Advent coming as well. So you'll see that on a future episode, but I'm very excited that I was able to get this because I don't know how, like, to get her yarn to me, the shipping is more than the yarn. And I could go visit her if I was spending that much money, which I will someday, I'm sure. But I'm pretty excited. This is also going to be popped into the top of my sock basket right now to be wound up later today. So then I went to PEI and I was fairly good there as well. I did not go overboard. I did buy a few things, and I have, which you'll see at the end, because I am now safely and solidly in the over 1,000 subscribers, which I know in the world of crazy fancy people is not very much, but it makes me happy. So we're going to have a little contest, which we'll talk about at the end, and I will show the things. I did get some things there for the prize package, so I'll show you those later. But let me see, let me sort. That goes over there, and this goes over there. Okay, so one of the, I don't know what order I picked them up. I did pick up from my friend Sadie. This is the Pea Pod, which is a great little sock size pouch. And I got it in bright red. Doesn't really go with my orange bag or my lime green bag, but that doesn't matter because I just love it. And I really love the canvas that Sadie uses. And I'm excited to get a project in that now that I've shown it to you. And I will link her down below. Top sale canvas, like beautiful bags, incredibly reasonably priced. They are going to last forever. And they just you can wash them. Machine washable, and they get better over time. And I get so many comments on my big orange one. If I take it to a festival, people always ask me about it, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And I also got this cute little pouch, and I don't know what I'm going to use this for. It probably could be a sock pouch. It's a little big for a notions pouch for me, but isn't this the cutest fabric? And I may be waiting for this maker to make a certain bag, and she knows what it is. These are from my friend Donna Bannister at MOQ Bags. And all of I will link them here as well, but all of the vendors at PEI were linked on my last episode. Like if I forget or you want to know more. But look at the lining in that. I love that lining. I'm going to pop Donna's card in there. But it's the cutest it's the cutest fabric with the little bumblebees and flowers. I really like it. And then from Amanda at Red Island Fibers, I got this. It's alpaca and rambouillet. I just love this color. I don't know if the color, A Time to Remember is the color. I'll link her down below as well, but there's her card. She has beautiful yarns. I just love it. And at Fleece and Harmony, I wanted to try their Point Prim sock. And again, getting one skein of yarn, even shipped from PEI, is a ridiculous amount of money. So the colorway is Rhubarb. And their Point Prim sock is 80% wool, 20% mohair. So it's an all-natural sock yarn. So I want to try it to see how it wears. It feels amazing because, of course, it's wool and mohair. But I want to see how it knits up. And I love this color. So that's going to be fun to work on. And then I'll save all the fiber till the end, because that will be, I got another set to do, another set of Menon's mittens from Yarn Indulgences. And this is the Surrey Silk and the Luxe Silky. And I don't know the colorway, one of a kind. Dyed to match. From Deborah. Just pulling things out so I don't miss anything. And this is the Surrey I got. Cocoa Cream. I have 3 skeins of it. And I think it's going to go really nice with this. Like, I think they're going to complement each other really well. For my Lento. I got 3 of those. It's always nice when you're at a big festival like that, because then Deborah has all of her colors out, and that is always really fun. So that's exciting. And I also got this pattern from Briggs & Little for a zipper vest, which I think my boys will like. And it's kind of done double. And I could do it in the Hunter Orange, but I don't think I will. I think I'll do it in some other color. But I really like that. So I'm going to knit that up. It looks like it's going to be a good option. And then, make sure I have everything out of that bag. Yeah. I picked up some fiber. So I got these 2 braids. Blueface Luster. Both of them are. And I got them from Shades of You. And they're not the same, but they're similar. So I think they will make a nice combo spin. To make something with. They're gorgeous. Look at all the colors. I'm starting to play more with how I split the braids and what I do with the, like, how the colors go together. Like, that's new for me, but I'm excited to try that. And then I was at Louis and Jane. And if you watched the last video, you will know that I went back to their booth a few times, like I talked about it. And this is their info, but I'll link it below as well. Just something about, she had yarns and she had fiber, and I picked up 2 of these small merino bats. I think they're around 50 grams each. And they're just so fun. Like the way she combines the colors. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them, but I've never spun from a bat before, but there's always a first time. But they're soft. Soft, soft, soft. I love like this pop of lime green. Like, they're just really fun. Her aesthetic was amazing. Like, the way she put colors together was just really, really lovely. I was very excited about it. So I did not go overboard at PEI. I mean, I picked up a few things, but I was there for 3 days. 3 days of shopping, this is. Mostly it was about friends, which was great. We just had so much fun. It was so relaxing. It was such a great weekend. We missed Robin. Her son got married that weekend. What child of a knitter gets married on the weekend of a fiber festival? Can't believe they did that. Next year. Next year will be fun. So then another thing that I got in the mail, I don't know if I have every year purchased the thread and maple Thread and Maple, Louie and Lola in Australia, and the Grocery Girls do a collaboration every year to fundraise for cancer research. And it's usually the first couple of weeks of October. And I participated this year, and I set my alarm to get, because I have a project page, I have an on the go, I have another pink basket, and this year I got the tote. So I think I've done it 3 years. And there's always, oops, this is just the bag that goes with it. There's a custom colorway. This is this year's, and it's Knit for the Girls 2024 from Louie and Lola. This one is Merino Nylon Socke. Again, great little blips of color. I'm going to knit a fun pattern with that. I got a pattern as well, which Tracy Miller's Galliano socks. That's, of course, in my Ravelry, nothing to see. This fun little balls of yarn boobs is their pin. And this is my favorite. Whenever you get thread maple, there's always a little maple candy in it, which I'm going to store back in here because that's cool. And then this tote has a zipper pocket inside. It's all leather, beautifully handcrafted. It's a nice deep tote. Has clips for over the shoulder, and I could have ordered a leather strap, but I actually have a strap already that I can just move from bag to bag. I didn't need another one. Yeah, but a nice project bag, and it is, the leather is soft but stands up nicely, so I'm kind of excited about that. Oh, here's another thing I got in PEI. Actually, Heidi gave it to me. There was a patch lady there, and she had this little PEI Fiber Festival patch. I don't know what I'm going to put it on. Maybe one of my, maybe I could put it on my orange canvas bag. That might be a good place for it. From Topsail Canvas. So that was very exciting. Prince, like, if you ever get a chance to go to that Fiber Festival, go. Like, if you have an excuse to be in PEI for a weekend in October, go. It was amazing. Like, it helps that a lot of our friends were there. Like, we went as a big group. Over 20 of us went out for supper on the Friday evening. We sat in the lobby and knit, and I have clips of all of that on the last video that I posted, the vlog style one. But there were a lot of us there, and it was just so much fun. There is something about being with your people that is just good for the soul. That's all I can say. So the next festival I went to was the Woodstock, or no, Woolstock, Ontario, which is at the Paris Fairgrounds in Paris, Ontario. And it was the weekend after Thanksgiving. And I volunteered at that one. I was on the gate. You may have seen me there. I was on the gate most of the morning. I think I was there until about 2, and then I did some shopping and things. I did have a lunch break too. And I saw my dear friend Grace there, which was lovely because I don't see her as often as I used to. We used to see each other all the time, but you know, things just change. Life changes, life happens. Okay, so I was being really good, and I saw lots of very nice things, and I stopped by to see Jen at the Yarn Therapist, and I picked up 2 of her, this is Dark Rainbow, and this is Christmas, and they're kind of Advent-y knits. They're 24 stripes. I think one of them is, this one is a little bit short for some reason. She didn't know what she did, but they're pretty. She also does cool self-striping. And they're sock sets, so they have, so these will be fun. And she shared those on Instagram ahead of time, so I knew she had them, so I went specifically to see them. And I got those. What else did I get? That might be the only thing I specifically bought. And I helped out Deborah in her booth because I helped her set up, and I helped her through the day, like if they needed breaks or whatever, and I wasn't busy. And then Leo and Roxy is sort of right across from her. And I knew that Jillian was bringing some sale things, and I mean, I see a lot of their stuff in the Little Red Mitten, and I just bought some at KW, and I was, you know, although I love their stuff, I don't need to buy it at a festival because I can get it sort of whenever I want. It's easy. They're my local yarn shop. And then Jillian says, Jolynn brought some more sales sweater sets, sweater quantities. You should come look at them. I said, oh, no, I probably shouldn't. So I went over and I looked, and what was out wasn't great. She goes, oh, I have more in the back. She brings them out. So this is enough for a lento. It's their Mohair silk and the basics, and I think I don't know which one this basics is. What's this basics called? This is classic gray, so it's just a nice silvery gray. This is enough for a lento in my size. They were marked down like crazy, like close to half price. Less than half price. And then she had this oatmeal one, which is gorgeous. And this basics colorway is oatmeal. I'm pretty sure it's called oatmeal. And then the mohair to go with it. It is 3 of the basics, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 25 gram mohairs. That's gorgeous. And then, oops, not an earthquake, me hitting the cord. You're not in exactly the same place again. I hope that doesn't give anyone. This is, I don't know what this one is. I'm going to say peacoat. Queen's Navy. And a blue mohair. And there's 3 50s and 300s of that. Like that could be a lento for me. Or for sure, it is absolutely more than enough for a love note. Probably more than enough for a lento. A ranunculus. There's all kinds of things I can do with that. And then there was this bag of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 raspberry ripple. So I might not use these as they are. Like these were, like some of them were, they were all 50, each kit was $50, and some of them were as much as 140 originally. There might be a bit of a jump. My camera was full. I had to delete some things so I could come back. So I think I showed you the raspberry ripple and told you that all these sets were $50. So I got 4 sweater quantities for $200. Like, I couldn't leave them there. Those sad bundles of yarn would be all alone. They needed to come home with me. Yeah, not. I probably won't use them necessarily. Like I can see using the oatmeal and the raspberry ripple together to do some sort of color work, or like the 4 colors I got go really well together. And so, yeah, I'm not sure what I'll do with them, but they are lovely, lovely, lovely. And I have knit with the Leo and Roxy Basics before. That's their commercially dyed line. And they do make lovely garments, lovely socks, lovely whatever you need them to make. So I'm looking forward to that. But so I think that was everything I got at Woolstock. I was very well behaved. I helped Deborah in her booth. I saw lots of people. I talked to lots of people. And until Jillian and Jolynn had those extra sweater quantities, I was doing really well. But you know what? I love it. That's okay. And it still supports my friends, and it still helps other people out. And it means I have more things to show you guys, which is nice. I think. I hope you're not. Sometimes I feel like it's obscene. And then I realize it's 3 festivals and not, plus some things I ordered. And then not last Friday night, the Friday night before, I went to Knit Night at Little Red Mitten. And I go there sometimes. It's quite a drive. It is 45 minutes for me, but it's still nice to go because you hang out with other knitters and you just have an evening of chatting. And my husband was repping hockey that night anyway. He wasn't going to be home. And otherwise I would just been sitting home here with the TV, and being there with people is a good thing. So they had a Full Moon Fibers trunk show that night, and I really like their yarn as well, and didn't necessarily intend to buy something, but did see this skein, and it's called Mistletoe Socke. And so it's their solar sock base, 80% merino, 20% nylon. And I just think that'll make a fun pair of socks or mittens or something. So I picked that up. And oh, I have buried here also. So I didn't buy this at Woolstock, but I did pick up my Advent. I got the Leo and Roxy Advent this year and pre-ordered it to have it to pick up at Woolstock, so I didn't have to incur the shipping. So that was perfect. Yeah, I think that is now all of the things. Life, what's going on? So, if you stuck around this long, the first thing I want to do, and there will be other goodies in it too, but I'm doing a draw because we're at 1,000 subscribers consistently. Like, it's weird. It goes up and down and up and down and up and down, but it's been there for a couple of weeks now, so that's good. I picked up a few goodies, and there's other things that are going in here, like some notions and things will also be in here, but I picked up a skein of the Yarn Indulgence Marled, which Deborah graciously donated for the prize, and a skein of Red Island fiber, the same colorway as I got for myself, but this is their Blue Face Leicester and nylon. I got that from Amanda. And from Sadie, some of my favorite things is what you're getting. I also picked up for the lucky winner a pea pod pouch. And that, along with some notions, is what the prize is going to be. A little gift from me to you for hanging out with me, because it's fun to hang out with friends, and all of knitting is as much about the knitting as it is the friendships I've made. So that's really cool. I think what we will do is comment down below what your favorite holiday tradition or winter tradition is, if you don't celebrate a specific holiday. The thing you like to do the most with friends or family. or by yourself, doesn't matter. And I'll just select from all the comments, and on the next episode we'll have a winner. And you can be anywhere in the world. I will never ask you for money. I will never message you anywhere, but announce it on the next video. And yeah, like, don't fall for any scams, please. I don't want that to happen to my friends. So that's going to be the prize. And you know, I have a few goodies here that I have a few things stacked up that are going to get popped in there too. So there'll be some surprises, but, and you can make yourself some pretty socks or mittens or whatever you want. And you can use the pretty topsail canvas bag to store them in. It'll be perfect. And a little taste of PEI and a little taste of New Brunswick, because, you know, that's where I am most of the time, New Brunswick. So I am flying out on Tuesday next week to spend some time with my mom. As you all know, my cousin is normally the person who helps them out, but her and her husband are going on her holidays. So I will be there to cover off, probably do some Christmas baking and some things like that, which will be fun. Hang out with Heidi, and we'll do something fun too. I'm sure I'll see some of my New Brunswick knitting friends, which will be great. And yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And tomorrow, a friend who I met on the cruise is in the area, and her and I are going to hang out tomorrow afternoon and do some knitting and maybe go to a yarn shop. Yeah, just never know. Yeah, it's kind of exciting because we met so many lovely people on that cruise, and some of them we may never see again, but it's really nice that we are seeing some of them. And that's a good thing. A very good thing. So I'm looking forward to that. And I don't know what else is going on. Not much. Getting ready for the holidays, getting organized in my life, doing all the crazy stuff I do. Not a whole lot of other, usually I have something cool to show. I showed you the duck that my cousin made me, but I may have already shown you that before. Usually I have something, a story or but this week I don't really. So if you've made it this far, you are dedicated. I hope you broke it up. I hope you had a cup of tea. Please, if you enjoyed what I ramble about, like and subscribe. Don't forget to comment if you would like a chance to get that beautiful project bag and those lovely skeins of yarn by those very talented dyers. And I will hopefully see you again soon. Take care, happy knitting, and remember to look out for yourself, because when you're in a good place, you're there for other people too. Bye.